while to wait.
Okay, so I had a very, very nice client, very dear to me, and I got to know him over the past year and a half. His case started in 2018, and he was accused of assaulting someone outside of a bar.
Who beat him up? I know that he's working at a
2 or 3 guys.
And the victim had been kicked in the head, lost a couple teeth, suffered a traumatic brain injury, and also some broken orbital bones in his face.
All right, so we're just going to get some information from you, all right?
So some very, very, very serious injuries. I obviously visited the client in jail, tried multiple times to get him out. The judge would not let him out of jail. After 4 months, I eventually convinced the prosecutor to dismiss the case. So the case was dismissed in January. However, it didn't go to trial. And because it didn't go to trial, he could be technically charged again. And they indicted him in circuit court for first-degree assault. So very serious charges, very serious injuries, and a potential jail time of multiple years, probably at least 3 years, maybe even 8 years. I hired a private detective to interview 5 witnesses. I got independent witness statements. I eventually found the person who I think committed the crime. I took all this information to the state's attorney, still would not dismiss the case. I met with him for about an hour trying to convince him to dismiss the case, and he said, no, your client's a liar. So then I subpoenaed the hospital records. And in those hospital records, which I got the night before, the judge ordered that the hospital give them over. I got them the night before. I took them to Chambers, and the judge eventually gave me permission to look over those medical records. And so literally 5 minutes before the trial was going to start, I'm sitting there with my assistant who has a background in a doctor's office, and she knew exactly what we were looking for. And we found that the blood alcohol level of the victim was a 0.212, which is almost 3 times the legal limit. Most people would be sleeping at that high of a blood alcohol level. The victim had told the state's attorney that he had 1 beer that night. So clearly he was lying, and the prosecutor dismissed all the charges and put on the record that he could no longer believe the victim based on the new evidence that I had obtained through use of a subpoena.